Hello, my name is Richard Ian Patton, and today I'm going to talk to you about my pitch to start a private investigation firm. This firm is going to specialize in cannabis investigations. Let's get started. Our vision for the future is an excellent one. Let me tell you. At Botan, our vision is to have every private investigator, laboratory technician, financial auditor, and intelligence worker engage in a workplace where they can grow. Our first priority is going to have the investigators, handle cases where the client and the investigator have a solid bond of trust. If the trust is not there, we should not be there. Our second priority is assuring that we provide an excellent standard for clients and suspects alike. Not every suspect is a criminal, and not every client is a bad client. We believe that honesty and fairness are integral to resolve any differences within the investigation. But first, let me tell you what is the basic definition of a private investigator. A private investigator is a freelance detective who carries out investigations on behalf of private clients. At Botan, we feel our private investigators is a specialized detective who carries out investigations on behalf of private and public clients regarding their legal sales and their regional, national, and international investments. In addition, the investigations of cannabis assets, the exchanges of cannabis-related blockchains, and the treatment of cannabis industrial workers inside and outside the workplace. We feel that not every cannabis business is going to break the law, but we have, as a company, we feel we have to look out for the greater man and woman. We also feel that if we do this right, we're on the right path. Speaking about a path, we feel that Botan will do everything in its power to provide the best service for criminal investigations, surveillance investigations, genealogical strain investigations, asset investigations, and finally, insurance investigations. All these types or categories of investigations will require a special type of thinking. There was once a smart man that said he had the best business, and it probably wasn't true. At Botan, we feel our strengths will be providing a strong sales knowledge for customers trying to find surveillance services. We will also move to Alaska, trying to figure out if this idea of a cannabis investigation firm is a good track. We will begin, when we move to Alaska, of having a good area with a strong foot traffic layout. At Botan, we can improve by keeping up market research. For our opportunities, we feel that buying a laboratory in the future would cut costs down and over time have a greater return on investment. We will also try to work with the federal government when appropriately that time would be. At this time, we would not want to work with the federal government. Some threats to our business model are people that do not want to cooperate with Botan investigations. When speaking about management protocols at Botan, we want to provide 4 values to our clients. A confidential discovery guarantee, which basically means that all information found out by investigators or laboratory technicians, either in field or out in the field, are kept confidential. Then, our second value is that we are going to provide fair educational requirements. We're going to have employees that will come out of the academic scene and on day one feel that they should be working at an entry-level job. But as they progress, we want to promote them in a fair way. So what we're going to do is that we're going to tie a promotional system to confidence levels. If the investigator feels they want more heavy work, we will give them more heavy work. But in doing so, we're going to require coordinated surveillance plans where the investigator will talk to the client and get that evidence. For this slide, this is what in Botan we call the cycle of distrust. First, on the upper left-hand screen, the client asks for surveillance services, but is unable to give a meaningful description of what they expect from that initial surveillance. Then, the second part is the investigator hands over the data collected to the client. But then, third, the photo, audio recording, or other type of data is not then accurate because the investigator is unaware of what the client was looking for. Lastly, the client is angry at the investigator because the data was not what the client wanted. It all goes to show what we can do as a company. If we're unable to give the specific data, we shouldn't be in the business of collecting data. For our educational requirements or our academic pipeline, at each stage of the academic career of a potential employee, we're going to look at what they could do to have them be efficient enough where they can go on our promotion ladder but still have a job that provides sufficient work for our entire pipeline. If you have a certificate all the way to a bachelor's degree, you will have a say and potential jobs at either entry level or at a lead role as an investigator. We try to, at Botan, do everything possible so that you have the ability at day one to be part of the company. And hey, one day maybe you could be on the fellowship track. We feel at Botan that we can tie an investigator's role in an investigation to their confidence level and how good they'll do to provide the client the very best investigation that they can offer. At confidence level 1, we have investigators try to learn the tricks of the trade. They will mainly work with parents and educational faculty, where at the end of the day, they can provide a positive outlook and positive role modeling for our young kids of the future. At confidence level 2, we will try to give the investigator an outlook on serving their community in the role of helping police agencies. At confidence level 3, we feel that law firms require the best investigators. So at this juncture, we feel that investigators will have a choice if they want more than just working at law firms. They will have a choice to be in front of a council of retired law enforcement personnel to work and help federal agencies. Now, this list is very small and it decreases and increases throughout the year. So if your federal agency is not on the list, please call our staff to make sure that you are on the list for future investigators. When providing surveillance services, at Botan, we feel we can best serve the customer under 2 categories of surveillance. You have physical surveillance and digital surveillance, both equal on the amount of data, but both different on the type of data. In physical surveillance, there are two types of data. There's open and closed. Open is anywhere at a park where you don't need to be stopped by someone, surveilling and checking for your identity. Then there are closed surveillance, where you have to physically go onto somewhere or something and people are looking at you, whether it be a video camera or someone at the door. When you do physical surveillance, one could use a pet for a mic on the park, having a good day. But when you're doing closed surveillance, you have to expect someone is watching you, the investigator. So as we offer surveillance packages for clients, we always try to keep an open eye of what type of surveillance we're offering. At Botan, we have made the overall decision to charge a hourly rate. Rather than having to charge clients a retainer, we feel that charging per hour is the best we can do, as we are just a startup. For our residential packages, we will charge $50 an hour for parents and school officials. For our police package, we will try everything we can to provide law enforcement personnel with the best investigators and have an outlet for our investigators to rise up the ranks. For our law firm package, our law firm package is where we charge $100 an hour and have the law firm grade us so we can have our investigators rise up our ranks. Our residential services include, but not limited to, a gene strain map search campaign, any biomedical intoxicant test for parents to test their children's cannabis, illegal cannabis, that is, or an employee background test for the upcoming cannabis employee to work in the industry in the state that have recently legalized cannabis. Our police services include, but not limited to, any asset investigations, criminal investigations, or insurance investigations from any police chiefs looking to provide more investigators per investigation that require delicate and sensitive material. We will try our best to provide a working relationship between any law enforcement agency and Botan investigations. We realize at Botan that when we charge $100 per hour to a law firm, that they expect the best service. So we will offer on-demand discovery when they need investigators the most. We'll also try to do witness interviews, process serving, insurance investigations, and at the time when it's necessary, offer independent authority investigations when something did not go right with Tier 2 investigators or a police agency. Now, as you can see, this is a detailed table of what we offer for all our services. Now, as you can see, there is a specific rate for each confidence level. If there are any investors willing to invest money into the Botan investigations infrastructure, then you will be providing, as listed, the best necessary investments. They include, but not limited to, surveillance gear, building improvements, science laboratory rooms, finance auditory rooms, mobile investigation hardware, counterintelligence briefing rooms, and an encrypting communication software. Regarding time, as a startup, Botan Investigations feels it necessary has to be transparent. So as listed, this is the timeline for what the company will be going through in the next couple of years. Now, if you would want to call to work together on a business meeting, call or send an email. It's up to you. Catch you later.